We've just done the Samhain dark moon Scorpio ceremony, and it was really gentle and beautiful and deep, which one would expect for a Samhain ceremony. We felt into like what needed composting, but also what we want to what are we giving and forgiving, and to just feel into like what is the thing that we want to kind of compost into. Because Aries, with the Aries full moon, we burnt all the things that needed burning, so we just burnt everything up. And then for this moon, dark moon in Scorpio, especially because so much is happening with this Pluto. I didn't even mention, I just realised I didn't even mention Pluto. So Mars is opposing it, and whatever's been going on recently, which probably some stuff's been going on, has been for me, and it was with everyone in the ceremony, that whatever's been going on is going to keep reverberating into the next year, unfortunately. I hate to break it to you, because Mars is going to be going retrograde for quite a big chunk of the year. So whatever's been coming up now, it's going to continue. But there isn't a big element of the end of things, the end of something. But it could be the end of it could be that some things are going to ricochet and something's ending, and that it's quite a big thing, whatever is going on. But to just trust the process. That was literally what was coming through for all of us, was to trust the process and to relish the experience of it all. And I had my darling friend Matthew, who passed away in 2021 on April Fool's Day, and he, bless him, look at him, he was at Glastonbury tour there. He was our tour manager at Glastonbury tour. And he met my friend, his wife, my best mate, they're both my best mates, in a dream. And she asked him about death and what it was like. And he just said, make the most of being alive. Like, just make the most of having a body. And that for me, I hold that for myself, of like, whatever's happening, whatever's going on, no matter how hard it is, that we are privileged to have this visceral experience. You know, we are the culmination of all the hopes and dreams and desires of all our ancestors and all the people who come before us. And yeah, life is a mixed bag and it's full of all sorts of experiences, but we're getting to experience them. And when we die, that will all stop. And everything will make sense, and we'll understand everything, and it will all just be like, oh yeah, that was what that was all about. But while we're here, we get to be confused, and we get to be sad and perplexed and in pain, and all of these amazing things that come from being alive. And what an honour and privilege it is to be doing that, having that experience. So we then I burnt a bay leaf, because bay leaves are really good for spell work. They're very flammable, like dramatic things to burn, because they're full of yummy oils and healing oils. So they're used a lot in spell work. So if you've got a dry bay leaf, right onto that. And what we did is we felt into it. So the thing I felt into was surrendering to the process. My granddad visited me today. It's Samhain, and he appeared as a robin, because I always associate him with a robin, because Robin used to always land on his spade when he was doing the gardening. And a robin flew into the pub when I was working today and came and just hung out in there for a bit. And I opened all the doors for him to get away, but he was just there. And I was like, well, it's Samhain. My granddad's just appeared as a robin, who I associate with robins. I'll pull a rune, because I had my cards and runes with me, because I was doing as a gift to my aunt-in-law. It was her birthday. I'd taken them to the pub so I could do a reading for her, so I happened to have them on me, and I pulled the rune, and the rune was Ingaz, which is ice, and that means surrender. So the rune and my granddad, and then as soon as I pulled the rune, the washing up fell over in the sink, and that had been there for ages, and there was literally no reason for that to have happened. So I was like, okay, I'm listening, I'm definitely listening. And then throughout the day, like, I had a shit show of messages and things going wrong, and there is a bunch of stuff that's been happening in the last week that's just been really high tension and really, really horrible and very Marsy. And I feel like is going to ricochet into the year ahead. But it's all part of the process, and it's all, it's all an experience. It's okay. Just let it be. Just let it flow. Enjoy it. Relish it. Let it unfold. Learn. And yeah, even just as the ceremony was happening, I got other texts where things have moved on already, and you know, it's just nothing's fixed. You know, nothing's going to stay the same, and to just go with the flow. So on my bay leaf, I wrote surrender and trust. And I burnt that. And because it's Scorpio, and Scorpio's fire, it's water. It's a water sign, but it's a very fiery water sign. It's very phoenixy. We burnt our things into water. So last moon, it was Aries full moon. It was just burn, burn, burn. So we're just burning stuff, writing things, burning them, getting clearing. But for this one, I wrote, this is about sort of nourishing the compost. This is composting. So burnt the leaf, dropped it into the water. It could be a bit of paper. Dropped it into the water, and then this water, gonna either just pour it into the soil in the garden for it to grow and compost and grow something. Or I'm going to be doing the immersion weekend this weekend. So I think I'm going to take it down to the sea with me and pour it into the sea and just really give it out there to the universe, to the sea, to take and support and develop. That's what I'd like to do with that. So yeah, that was wonderful. So I'm going to do a reading now. Let's see what, and really connecting in with the ancestors. Who are your special ancestors? Who are the people that have passed on that are there for you? You know, they're your team, they're your support team. I've got my granddad and my nanny, my grandma and grandpa, and then I've got my best mate Matthew and my other best mate Lee. They all passed away. My grandma, Lee and Matthew, well, my grandma and Lee passed away in 2020, and Kim, who is my one of my best friend's wife. I did know her well, but not like, you know, I was best friends with her partner, and yeah, she died all of a sudden as well in 2020. I lost a lot of people in 2020. I think it was probably about, I think it was like 6 or 7 people, 3 of which were really good friends. It was horrible. Like, no one died nicely, and none of it was from COVID, strangely. And then yeah, since 2020, I think I can't remember what it was, but it's like 15 or 16 people I've lost since 2020. So it's been a lot of grief, and I connect to them, and they are, you know, they're there. Like my granddad coming today is Robin. So just using that support team. Today's the day where the veil is thinnest, and we're like, Scorpio energy is so powerful. It's Beltane is the opposite, and Beltane is life force energy, and that, but so is Scorpio, but it's a different type. Like Beltane's more the feminine, which is this real abundance and just opening up, and whereas Scorpio is death. It's the destruction that allows life to grow, but it's like the sperm piercing the egg. It's like life will never be the same again, and that's what happens with death. Life will never be the same again. So let's connect in with all this energy and see what we can pull through. There we go, it's definitely that one. Joy. Great. Finding joy. Physical world is as above, so below. It's the yew tree, so it couldn't be more perfect. So yeah, as above, so below. The inner and outer are all one. This is all one thing that's happening. In our communication, we are talking about, this is Lagos, which is water, which is the inner world, is spirituality. So this is a time for having spiritual conversations, for connecting to the depths. You know, not talking about shallow things, we're talking about deep things. And then in our passion and in our willpower, it's shining a torch into the darkness. Perfect. So shining a torch into the darkness, not being afraid to explore, and having the courage to face these dark spaces. And then spiritually, it's a harvest, which it is. It's the time of year of harvest. So, you know, reaping the rewards of the work that we've done, the benefits of the things that we've done, and not expecting things to move too soon. So relishing the void, you know, don't try and fill it in straight away. Like, we have this tendency of always being like, and what next, and what next, and what next? Can you give space to just mulch? Can you give space to just be? So this is harvest. This isn't planting. So even though this is a new moon, like, we're not planting seeds, we're developing compost. So what is it that you want to feed into your compost? What do you want to like till into that soil? But there's no pressure to be like, and so next year I want to do, but like, because it is the witch's New Year. This is the Celtic New Year. So there is a New Year's Eveness to it, but you still, with that calendar, you don't plant the seeds till in bulk. You know, that's when the little sprout time happens. It's in February. So between now and then, to just chill, to just be creative, just be, give ourselves the permission to stop, to rest, to enjoy. So the cards, we have the Knight of Wands, the Priestess, and Defeat. So the Knight of Wands is it's very fiery and powerful, and I feel like the Scorpio energy has that. It's this like burning everything up, which is what we just did with Aries, like burning everything up, clearing the space, clearing the way for things to happen. And then in that space you have the Priestess, which is, she's so powerful, and that is the moon, you know, that's also moon energy, but she's just absolute divine, like, so opening up and creating that opening space for connecting to much deeper, bigger levels than what we do with the everyday. And through doing that, we're able to defeat the thinking and the worries. So like, I worried about stuff all day today. I felt all of the tension of outer world politics, of believing in these things as if they matter. Like they're just part of the storyline. So to not let them defeat you, to defeat them, and the access to defeating them is to burn up and burn away all of the sort of stories and concerns, and to just, in fact, actually, that's what we did tonight. That was the way around we thought of what we were doing. Is one of the people that were in the ceremony was talking about, they're from California, and that there are certain pine seeds there that only grow through forest fire. And it was like, why, you know, that's part of who they are as a person, is that for them to grow, they need to put themselves through fire. And I think we all do, to an extent, you know, like that's part of the journey. And so what do we want to burn? Like, what will we burn for in order to grow? Like, what seeds do we want to grow that we'll put through the fire for? And it's that phoenix rising from the ashes. What do we want to burn to then rise from the ashes? And that's what this is. It's the process. It's like, we'll burn. It's, you know, it's like the butterfly journey, but it's through fire, which is what the phoenix is. And then to go through that process of, within the chrysalis, turning to soup and just trusting. And that's kind of what the Priestess is. It's like, you are just being the life force energy archetype space where, like, you know, going through that huge, I mean, look, she's sort of vibrating out of existence. She's just a vibrating force. And that through that you come through and you defeat the binds, you know, you defeat the story, you defeat the things that are controlling you, and to remember that you are infinite, and you are a sacred being having a sacred, was it a mortal being having a mortal experience? Yeah, you're an immortal being having a mortal experience, whereas we get caught up in believing that we were a mortal being having an immortal experience. So you sort of think that you're this avatar, and that every now and then you have moments where you're like, oh, this is sacred, or this is special. But actually, you're a sacred being who's having a mortal experience. And it's to remember it's that way round. And whenever we get caught up in the story, or the other reality, the made up play that we've created to entertain ourselves with, it's just every now and then burning that down and remembering that that's not actually true. Remember, you are the priestess, you are the goddess, and you are part of the infinite. And then that just defeats all the blah, blah, blah stuff that's not really important. It's just part of your experience. And actually to yummily enjoy it. Oh, yum, yum, yum. You don't want it to just be plain sailing, because that's not what we're here for. Once we die, it's going to be plain sailing. Like once you're dead, it's like it all makes sense and you just go back to the organised chaos of it all. Whereas when you're here, you're in the chaos, you're in the storm, and you don't understand how it's organised, and you're just like, what the fuck's going on? But when we die, we'll know exactly what the fuck's going on, because we'll be back in the matrix of it all. Protect. Wow, I've never pulled her before. She's interesting. So that's protect. She's protecting the planet by the looks of things. I'm going to read what it says because I've never pulled her before. Interesting. Often we're told that we need to save the planet, but honestly, she doesn't need saving. She's simply tired and pissed at how we treat her and each other. When we care and tend for ourselves and those in need, we protect and nurture Mama Earth. That's how it works. Let protection be a reciprocal flow of love and care to, from and for yourself, each other, the land, your community, those without a voice, the animals and Mother Earth. Protect with love and care. Absolutely. That's exactly how I'm feeling at the moment. And part of how I'm feeling is like how to do it without getting caught up in the story and without like feeling scared or attacked or like in danger. Like how do we play this game, I don't know, fearlessly and also thoughtfully, taking like yeah, the messages and things that I got today and the things that are coming through for me at the moment, it's like, who's right or wrong? How do you navigate? Like, it's 1 foot forward, 2 steps back. It's like, you fuck up, you don't mean to fuck up, but you need to like get back integrity with the people that you have fucked up with. It's just it's a never-ending dance. So how to keep doing it from a place of love and care, and to be doing that for all, you know, to try and love and care for everyone involved, and including yourself, making sure you've got boundaries, but also taking responsibility for mistakes. And yeah, it's interesting. It's all right old dance. It's a right old dance. So you want to do it with compassion. Perfect. So that's perfect. Oh, it's nice because I was already, that's why I said trust, surrender and trust, because it was surrendering and trusting to the process, because I was like feeling like I needed battle plans or, you know, it's about boundaries and things like that. And it is, but it's also remembering that it's love and trust and compassion. And let me take hold of that stick that you're beating yourself with. Let's place it over there while you pause for a moment. You are loved. You are love. Stop berating yourself with coulda, woulda, shoulda. We can't go back and change the past. So let's make a pact that from this moment forward, you'll show yourself no matter what the situation or circumstance. A little sweet compassion, yeah? And while we're at it, let's extend it to others too. Humans mess up. We make mistakes. We do silly things. Let's take a more gentle approach to life. Be kind to yourself and others and softly sprinkle goodwill liberally and often. The mantra is, I'm kind to myself and others. Perfect. And then last of all, a little totem goddess to work with. God, I needed tonight. That was a good one. That was a good one. Creation, Danu. She's cool. Not pulled her before either. She's got a spiral on her belly. Wrong book. It's interesting because we were talking about creative energy of Scorpio, because again, like Beltane, Taurus is feminine creativity, and then Scorpio is more like the masculine. Danu is the supreme mother goddess from whence all Celtic religion was born. It's Samhain New Year. While held in the utmost respect amongst those who worship her and considered to be the ancestor of the Irish pantheon Tuatha Dé Danann, very little is actually known about this divine creator. She is absent from the most memorable of Celtic tales, yet thought to be the source of all creation, as well as nobility and power. Danu grants those of noble birth with sovereignty, with a great number of kings and chiefs claiming to draw their power from her blessings. Her affiliation with the earth means that she is also connected to fairies and the various standing stones that adorn Ireland. The Great Mother Danu reaches through the realms to instill within you the power of creation. We all possess the ability to create. Some of us employ mediums such as artistry, music, theatre and dance. Others utilise the act of sharing information through teaching, tutoring and health-related service. Creation is not bound to a single form. It pours forth from all our souls like the rivers of the world around us. Do you feel the urge to create something but aren't sure where to begin? Is there a passion burning within you that you have yet to share with others? Danu is here to bless your endeavours and breathe life into your creation. Cool. I feel like, yeah, that was what we were talking about with Scorpio, is that it is creative. It's the opposite creative to the abundant creativeness of Taurus. Scorpio is more like the sperm popping the egg and changing things forever. And that feels kind of like that, like she's, and because it's weird because sovereignty was kind of a thing. That was what I was stepping into and nurturing with the Aries energy last full moon, was a fire of sovereignty of the Emperor. It's got although Danu's this goddess and the feminine, it's got a masculine edge to it. It's like the power of being the king, being the warrior, being the leader, and that creative energy. So that's got a kind of masculine feel to it, strangely. So yes, create or be created. Enjoy the creation that we have all created collectively of being alive and having this visceral lived experience, and to just enjoy it, make the most of it. It's going to be a short time, and all our ancestors are there crowding around us right now, literally surrounding us, and they're there going, fucking enjoy it. Make the most of it. We all fought and died and fucked and killed and stressed and starved for you to exist and have this little glimmer of moment of existence, and then there'll be all of the people past us that will be ancestors to you. We are the modern ancients. We are the modern ancestors. So fucking make some cool stories, eh? Make it cool, bro. And yeah, enjoy. So happy Samhain, happy Celtic New Year, happy Scorpio New Moon, happy beginning of Aquarius age, happy everything. Lots of love.